Okay, and I'm back. Um, same makeup, same chair, same hair, same day. So this week was my breast cancer surgery, my lumpectomy on Friday. On Thursday, I got a call just before 12 noon from the breast surgeon's office asking about the medical clearance. They had reached out to my primary care doctor's office, and the primary care doctor said, "Oh, no, we don't have that." So the breast cancer surgeon called, their office called me to ask, if I had it done. And I didn't know that I had to have that done. So no, I didn't have it done. I'd already had the pre-surgical testing and the mag seed and all that stuff done, and I thought that's all I had to do. So I spent the afternoon on Thursday panicking, trying to make sure that we had this medical clearance done because the surgery was the next day, and getting everything in order. And luckily my primary doctor's office was able to take me in, and quite literally in the nick of time, we got the clearance. They did the little, exam, got the clearance, got the right sign off, and got it over. So we were able to continue with the surgery. All of that happened without me even looking at the paperwork. And for the day, I was like, how did I miss this? There's no way I missed this. How could I possibly miss something like this? Well, I missed it. There was a sheet that the surgeon's office had given me that listed out a few things that had to be done, including the pre-surgical testing, including the mag seed. And then there was a line that said medical clearance and a little thing, yes or no, and then cardiac clearance, yes or no. And the medical clearance was circled. I don't really remember having any conversations or anything about it, but it was definitely on the sheet. So I missed it. And it was never brought up. So I almost missed my medical clearance. I don't know what would have happened if I missed that. I assumed maybe the surgery wouldn't happen. And of course I was paranoid because now Melissa was driving 4 hours from Albany. My brother was coming in from Indiana. A lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts that potentially didn't happen because I almost didn't get that medical clearance. So here's my advice to you. Make sure you review your paperwork. Make sure you're doing what you need to do. Check in with your doctor, check in with your surgeon. What else do I need to do? Do I have everything? And don't make it wait until the last minute. But yeah, it all worked out in the end, thankfully, because it would have just been way too much to reschedule this for another time. But yeah, all worked out. So that was Thursday. And then let's see, Thursday night, Melissa got in. So Friday night, we went to the hospital. My arrival time was 9 a.m. So we got there a little bit before 9, and we went to the hospital. And honestly, it really sounds weird, but we had a really great time that day. We got checked in at the reception area of the surgical floor. And the guy that checked us in, Benny, he was so nice, and he has such a sense of humor, so funny. And if you know anything about me, or if you've been able to figure anything out about me through any of these videos, I do tend to have a sense of humor through horrible things. It's just, you have to. You have to. That's how you get through it. You have to find the absurdity, find the humor, find the lightheartedness, find the fun. And when anybody else does that, I'm in. I love it. So Melissa and I have always done that. So she was with me while we checked in. We met Benny. He walked us through. He got us escorted into the room, validated her parking. And then we went in and we got checked in, and there was the nurse that was assigned to me, her name was Mary. Turns out she's one of 3 Marys that work in that section. So it's basically any Mary will do, I guess. And she was wonderful, and she got along. She loved our sense of humor, and she just played right along with us. I think she appreciated how kind of light and how fun we were and how positive we were. So, let's see what else. So then, oh my God, I'm forgetting everything. Like, there's so much that happened throughout the day on Friday. So at different times they had to come in and draw blood, which that was fine. They were able to do that on my right arm. Came in, did a little butterfly thing in my wrist. You can see the little dot and a tiny little bruise. But then they also had to set up an IV, but they had to do that on my left because the lumpectomy and the lymph node removal was on the right side, so they had to leave that open for the surgeon and everybody to get in there. So they couldn't do the IV on the right; they had to do the IV on the left. Well, I didn't eat from the night before, and I was told no food, no water, so I was a little dehydrated. They could not find a vein. So I mean, you can kind of see that you can see it, that it's bruised, that whole thing. They tried there, but the vein blew out. I hope you're not squeamish. I tried here, but that didn't work. They couldn't get anything in the elbow usual spot. I guess they don't do that for IVs anyway. I'm not sure. So eventually I had to bring in a sonogram and scan my arm with the sonogram and get the IV in that way using the sonogram. And I have to tell you, if you have difficult veins or if you're dehydrated or you're told not to drink, request a sonogram, because within 30 seconds, she just, put the little goop on, put the sonogram one. I'm demonstrating with my hand down below the camera, of course, because I know you can totally see that. Scanned it a little bit with the wand. Within 30 seconds. If it was a minute, I would be surprised. Within 30 seconds, she found a viable vein, popped it in, didn't feel it, perfect, good to go. So again, that's my advice for you for this video is, if you have difficult veins, if you have thin veins, request a sonogram. It's kind of life-changing. I don't know why they don't do that all the time, but it was perfect. It was like right in there. I suppose it's a cost thing, but so she got that in there. And then while she was doing that, that's when the guy was doing the other side for the vein, for the blood draw. I'm probably going to be all over the place a little bit, but I just want to get so much out. So another little funny thing that happened, the lead up to the surgery, I know I mentioned that I have a titanium clip, and then I recently got a mag seed. So the titanium clip was put in when I got the biopsy. I guess it's 2 months ago now at this point. And that was for the future. So, if the biopsy came back negative, a year from now, if I go for another sonogram, it shows the shadow. They would see the titanium clip and know that part was biopsied already. They wouldn't have to worry about it, that it was already, they would look at the records and see how it was tested. But it was also an identifier for, this, if the biopsy came back positive, they could see exactly where they needed to go for future, scans and whatever. So that was the titanium clip. There was something called the mag seed that was put in. I know I've talked about this before. It's this little tiny magnetic device about the size of a grain of rice. And this particular one goes in and it opens up like an umbrella, and it allows the breast surgeon, when she's going in to remove the tissue, uses a device that's a magnetic device, and it finds this little thing that's in the tissue. So again, they can just zero right in. It makes the surgery much faster, much more accurate. They know exactly where they're going for this. So by the time I got to surgery, I had a titanium clip and a mag seed, a nice little collection going inside my boob. Several people asked me if I was going to be able to keep those things. And I'm like, you know what? Let me ask the question. So throughout the day, at one point, I asked Mary, my nurse, one of the 3 Marys that was there, if she thought I'd be able to keep it. And she, I said, look, I'm just going to ask you a weird question, but just go with me on this. So I asked her, and she just played right along. She's like, well, you probably should ask the surgeon that question, weirdo. And it was kind of the perfect answer, the perfect response. So I did ask the surgeon, and the surgeon didn't really bat an eye. I guess I'm probably not the first person to ask. However, the bad news is that there's no way to keep that because it was within the cancerous tissue. So it kind of becomes a biohazard at that point. Like, there's no rescuing it. Everything, the lump and the tissue around it, the lymph node, everything that's removed goes and gets tested. So there's no way to remove that tissue, the little devices from there. So it's a sad day. I thought maybe I might make an earring out of it or something. I don't know, but now I have a memory. I do have a photo. I have a mammogram photo that shows both of those things in the tissue. So I have the memory. I have the photographic evidence. So, all right. So that's that story. I am going to end this one here because we're just about 10 minutes. I'll try and keep it right there. We're going to end this one here, and I will be back with more stories. Ciao.